Monitoring and control is really about equipping the operator, whoever's responsible for operating that equipment, with the information he needs to make the right decisions. Whether that's opening a valve or turning on a burner or an emergency shutdown, he needs to have the information at hand to make those decisions and to make them quickly and correctly. In some cases, that's a safety concern. In some cases, it's just a quality or production cost concern. If you have the right information, those operators can make better business decisions and better safety decisions, better quality decisions about whatever it is that they're producing. When people talk about IoT, they might mean a lot of different things. In an industrial context, it's really about low-cost instrumentation, where it might cost literally thousands of dollars to add a sensor in a traditional control-based application. In an IoT technology stack, it might be $20. So that makes it possible to introduce instrumentation where you couldn't afford to do it otherwise. In the typical monitoring application, you're really focused on getting information to the operator. When you add a historian solution to that, you also have a, no pun intended, historical perspective on that. And that context, that historical context, is often critical to really understand what's going on in the process. What's that trend over time? Is there a pattern in it? And you need that historical context to be able to do that. Not only is it information for the user to analyze, we're leveraging the power of the technology to gain insights about the operations and identify anomalies, relationships between measurements that might not be obvious to the operator, the human operator, so that they have better insight into the operations. Fundamentally, the information that you get out of a historian is about better understanding of your process. Think of one customer, they had a filling application. The integrator that was responsible for this achieved the original spec requirements of 3.5 bags a minute. But they weren't content with that, so they started recording information in the historian about how long each step was taking. Then they came back a month later. They ran a very simple report in the historian and discovered that one of those steps had incorrect logic. So there are a lot of extra weights in it. And so in fact, it was taking twice as long in some cases as it should. They made a change in the control application and were able to increase throughput by about 30%. That translated into literally hours of payback for that customer for that whole application, because they were able to produce that much more product, just because they had better insight into the details of their process.